Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everybody. You are watching and listening to AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On. I'm Jason Ikeler.
Hello, I'm Roxy Striar. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too, because joining us today from VH1 Couples Therapy and the Jersey Shore, we have Deena Nicole and Chris Buckner.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
You guys have been crazy busy promoting the show.
Yeah, we've been, making our rounds.
A lot of Red Bull.
A little tired.
We should get them to sponsor you.
I know. We should have them on the table. Great.
So what made you guys initially want to do couples therapy in the first place?
Initially, they came to us and we were like, you know what, we could definitely work on some compromising issues like any other couple. And then when we got in there, Dr. Jen just kind of ripped the covers off of everyone. It was like, you actually do have real issues. And it came to find out, I opened up about my anxiety disorder, my OCD, like being on antidepressant, and we realized it kind of was taking a toll, like my, little thing going on was kind of taking a little toll on us together. And
it was something that we didn't even realize was an issue until somebody from the outside looking in was able to say, all right, this is what you guys should be really working on.
Right.
I think it's interesting, though, because I watched the show, and I think that you guys are a really great couple. A lot of the other couples I look at, and I'm like,
You're never going to make it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. But you guys don't seem to have as many issues together. So I feel like it's a normal, healthy relationship, which made me question why you guys went on the show. It didn't seem like there was a big problem.
Well, you hear couples therapy and you're like, all right, they must be at the very end of the road to resort to therapy,
right.
But I don't think that's the case. I think that therapy, we were doing fine, and we went, and now we're doing better. Mm-hmm. So is
that true? You guys feel like you have a stronger relationship?
Absolutely, because now a situation will come up and we'll be like, let's rewind that a second, because Dr. Jen would have said this was like, we're handling this the completely wrong way, and it stopped so much fighting that we were having, and we were like, more for us, it was like I had to work on myself and he had to work on his self to make ourselves stronger, and we had no idea that we were having these,
problems,
self issues.
She's very unconventional. Sorry, then.
No,
she's so unconventional, and I think that it's unique the way that she goes about it. And some people seem to be able to handle it a little better than others.
Yeah.
We've got Jenna who's sitting and crying all the time about it.
Yeah.
But we know from Jersey Shore that you're a tough bitch. You can take it. You can take somebody yelling at you.
I'm tough. Jersey Shore definitely gave me more thick skin. Also, I don't talk behind people's backs. I've learned that from reality TV. I rather say it to your face and be brutally honest than you see it months later seen on the TV. I've brought that into my normal life, and it's made me such a better person for that. More genuine friendships, and that's why on Couples Therapy you see me kind of getting into it with Nikki a little bit, because there was some times I felt like she was kind of being a bitch, and I had to put her in her place and just be like, listen, you're going to come off horrible. You're not going to come off good.
Yeah, it's really
And
true.
I was just trying to help her out. And that was one thing me and Nikki had, was a respect for each other, because we were just very honest with each other about things.
Were you guys nervous at all to start reality TV as a couple, because you see all these couples go on and then break up? And you've obviously done it before, but Chris, you never have.
Well, they came to us, at least once before, and we talked about it, and we were like, you know what? Things are okay now, so why
It's like the beginning of our relationship.
Why go into a situation where it might end badly? So we passed, and then
2.5 years later.
2.5 years
3
later.
years later, we were like, maybe we could.
Maybe we could use some money.
Yeah, maybe it won't hurt.
So then you guys agreed to it.
Yeah.
So you didn't approach them; they actually approached you.
They did come to us.
What are you thinking if somebody approaches you like, hey, you two could use some therapy? Like, what goes through your head?
We were just like, you know what?
I know.
We were like, you know what? Because we are in the limelight, a lot of couples in the limelight do need therapy, whether it's on yourself or with each other. Being in front of the camera is stressful, especially if you are on a show like Jersey Shore. Everybody thinks they know you. Everybody puts a label on you, and you can be criticized. It can really put, a lot of heat on your shoulders, especially with, my anxiety and my OCD. I never brought it up on the show. So I was living with this dark thing on my shoulders by myself for years. And on the show, I just hit it on Jersey Shore completely.
Yeah. Right.
And
there was no place almost for it to come out on that show.
And
it's not that kind of show.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah.
Like, they could have made it look crazy or, not in a serious light. And I just didn't want to take that risk. And when this happened and Dr. Jen kind of like pinpointed it, I was like, this is the right place. I could talk about it.
Were you worried at all? Because on Jersey Shore, obviously, that show's about partying and having fun. And then you go on this show and literally all of your secrets in the closet come out. So now everybody in your personal life knows what you guys are struggling with. Are you worried about how your friends or family will perceive it?
I'm not, because Jersey Shore, I started it when I was 22, 23, and now I'm 27 years old. And I was single. I was partying, and that was my lifestyle. I like to have fun. I like to party, just like anybody else in their early 20s. And then, now I'm in a relationship, and now people could see a different side to me and see inside of our relationship and see me and him and see us for us.
A lot of times people are surprised because they only know her from the show. So people who watch the show really think they know Deena. So when they find out that I date her, they have so many opinions, and that's fine, but they're wrong. So it's nice for finally a show that will show another side of her.
Yeah.
So now they'll have a different perspective, and a different look on a different part of her personality.
I'm trying to follow the lie detector woman and see if you guys are like swallowing too much. But it seems like you're being honest, because that's what happened. I am curious, going back to you were talking about how you didn't want to come out about the anxiety on the show in Jersey Shore, but then I remember that Vinny did. So at that time, did you feel like you could really relate to him? You wanted to help him? Did it inspire you to maybe want to think about coming out? Because I think everybody perceived that pretty well and gave him a lot of support.
Yeah, my anxiety was kind of different than his. I feel like he was able to talk about it. Mine was like so much deeper. Like, he was able to control his.
Yeah.
I wasn't. For a long time, like especially before season 5, I was in my house for like weeks. I was like in a dark place. My OCD kicked in, and if you know OCD, it becomes like exhausting. Looping thoughts, touching things a million times, everything's going wrong, something's gonna go wrong, nothing's right. So my life's too perfect. It can't be can't be, like, it was so much more than anxiety, to the point that I went on antidepressant because it got that bad. So that was not going to go. I guess I could say I had anxiety on the Jersey Shore, but
nobody was going to
bringing
understand
up all of the things that were going on up here.
Because you were in the middle of it. It seemed like Vinny was like overcoming it, but you were like in the heat of it.
I mean, I've had it all my life, and it was starting to hit me hard.
How does that affect your guys' relationship, Chris? How do you? I mean, I'm assuming you knew about all of this prior to going on the show.
I knew about it, but I didn't know how to deal with it. Okay. You don't know how to approach when she's in. When she's feeling a certain type of way, and you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. Do you talk to her? Do you leave her alone? I didn't know how to approach it. So Dr. Jen kind of opened up, turned the lights on for me, and she was like, okay, this is what you have to do for her and for your relationship. And that's why it was so, it was
very beneficial.
It was worth
going
it.
in for us.
I'm happy that we did.
And it made me like not ashamed of my,
That's really cool.
of what's going on with me. So
Were you guys shocked at how real the show actually is? Because I think when you think like a VH1 couples therapy type show, you're like, oh, that's all fake. But these are like real issues you're actually dealing with.
I loved it because it was just so much different than Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore, you feel like you have to put on a good show.
Yeah.
Where in couples therapy, you can just literally chill, be yourself, and be raw and talk about your serious issues without feeling judged whatsoever.
Did you feel like anybody there was trying to put on a show, or everybody was really true to who they were?
I mean, you don't know.
Let it out.
No, you don't know. You don't know because it's hard to say. It's hard to say because you're there and it's tough work. It's not, it's a lot of sessions with each other. There's a lot of sessions individually. So you're focused a lot on, your relationship, our relationship. So, there were stuff that we watched the show and we see things that was going on between couples that we had no idea happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's hard to say, like, their intentions, their motives for what they said or what they did. Was it for camera time?
I feel like
I don't know.
Everyone went in to the show thinking, okay, this will be what we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And then you go in and it completely flips because she literally is like, let's see your real issues. Like, cut the bullshit. Like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think a lot more people were more open to it than others. And you could see it on the show.
No, Chris, I'm curious why you wanted to do the show. Is because obviously, Deena, you're in the spotlight and you're a public figure. Is that something you're trying to go after with your career, or you
no.
just okay?
No, I still have normal 9 to 5.
Okay.
The ball was in her court the entire time. I was like, it's the reason why they contacted us was because of her. Mm-hmm. So it's only right that she should make the decision whether or not we do the show.
But if he didn't feel comfortable, I was completely fine
okay
with
without it.
Yeah.
So, when she made the decision, I just hopped on board. There was no plan to, okay, we'll get on this show and then we'll do this, we'll do that, this, that. I'm still
going on with our normal
Now that
lives.
you've done the show, would you guys do your own show together?
After seeing a different aspect, after Jersey Shore, I probably was like, I kind of had enough of it because I was literally in the mix of like my own battles.
Yeah.
It was a lot for me. But after this one, it was just so much more relaxing. So if someone approached us, I'm not going to say no to it.
Right, and people might be able to see you guys in a different light
Yeah.
and not look at you so much on the Jersey Shore. Is that part of the reason you really wanted to go on? I know you've talked a lot about how you've grown up. You've grown up. You're not the same girl that you were then. You were young. You were drunk. I was young and drunk,
I
and
still am.
Yeah, we still like to, don't get me wrong, I still like to have my wine.
of course. But do you
What do you
feel
think's in that
like
cup?
I know, surprise.
Cheers.
do you feel like you wanted to go on to kind of prove in the public eye that you aren't that girl anymore?
I really have nothing to prove. I thought it would really be a great opportunity for both of us, and especially because I kind of did want to open up about some of the things I really couldn't open up about on Jersey Shore that I felt like Dr. Jen could help me with, especially because she works with so many people like me
Yeah.
in the public eye all the time.
You guys open up about a lot of different issues on the show. One of them being, I thought this was really cool and brave of you guys, and doesn't usually happen this way, but about the money situation, how you feel uncomfortable. She's buying you presents, you sometimes can't reciprocate. What's going on with that? Why is there something inside that you just don't like the fact that she can do that? Do you feel like this show is going to help you be able to, obviously you're getting paid for it?
I'm happy that she was put in a situation like the one that she made a lot more money than somebody else doing a regular.
I got lucky.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna put her at fault for that, but I just ask, sometimes when she does make decisions with it, it kind of puts me in a tough spot because I can't reciprocate. Like, I can't get you that when,
No, I understand. And
maybe I'm a little old-fashioned. I'm a little more traditional
You'll see, we worked on that on the show too. They basically told me, like, let him be the man. Like, let him pay for things, like, enough. And that helped too. Dr. Jen is like,
you love her?
hardball.
Yeah.
I really do. I still call her till this day about stuff.
She's the real deal.
That's
like,
awesome.
She tells it how it is. And
That's really great. And then I know that, Deena, you had an issue with this. You always going to AC. You're going, and you're like, why are you going all the time? Can I come? And I'm wondering, does that ever happen in the reverse also? Because I'm sure you're traveling a lot, doing different
that's
interviews.
a great point. That is such a great point.
I feel like
Well,
it's just
thank
so different.
Because when she goes with her girlfriend, it's work. You know, I have to go. I have to be here. I'm not having fun. I'm working, but
You can do both at the same time.
You're staying out till 4 o'clock in the morning. You come back to your hotel. You're wasted. You had a good time.
But it's still work.
But you know what? I'm getting better at it. I know I had to, like, relax with that a little bit. I've learned. Dr. Jen helped me with that. I'm learning. And he did recently go to AC without me. And I was fine with it.
Yeah,
Wow.
No, it wasn't an issue.
You go, girl.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay, I need to know. I just want to talk some shit really quick. Is Juan Pablo really a douchebag?
I actually liked Juan Pablo.
Okay.
He's actually, like, sensitive.
Really?
He
All
cried
right.
a lot.
Okay, but come on with this. I can't
that-
say I love you
that was
because of my
weird.
culture. If
That
honestly,
we called bullshit,
I
and we
would-
still
Yeah.
call bullshit to his face. So
Yeah.
Okay.
we don't really. I mean, that's one thing. Him as a person and a father, genuinely a great person and nice guy. The I love you thing, I mean, I don't get it. So that's just me.
If Nikki's cool with it, then
she's so not cool with
Yeah.
it.
no. I mean, she's been with him long enough.
Yeah.
And she's been putting up with.
Yeah, I guess.
She's been accepting his reason as a reason.
I don't know.
Do you guys
So-
feel like she actually loves him? Because I know she says it, but sometimes I feel like she's just like, shut up and go away.
That's her personality with everyone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She's
She's a sure.
Yeah.
Which couples, when you got there, because you guys obviously, like we were saying, we didn't think you had that many problems to work on. Which couples, when you got there, were you like, oh man, they're not gonna make this?
Juan Pablo and Nikki.
Okay.
Juan Pablo, Nikki, because just from day one they were kind of like.
And do you still think
Bickering.
that?
They have.
hard to say.
They have some. They have.
They have issues they have to
long
work
road.
on, and I mean I think they're still together and they're still trying to work on their issues. So I hope it does work out for them. I mean, I always wish people the best, and of course, Evil Dick and Steph. Just because when they first came in, it was just like we're like, wait a second, and it was so awkward. But they were like two of our favorite people in the house.
Oh, really?
Evil Dick and Steph.
You guys were closest with them,
Okay.
I
probably?
loved them. Love them. So I hope
Evil
even
has like an insight that is different
like
from
Evil,
like.
we talk to him every day. He's
Okay.
amazing. But we were like, even if you guys aren't going to be together, like, stay friends, just because we loved them both, even together, not together. They were just awesome.
Right. What's going on with them and the fact that everything is in the public eye with them, that must have been a really hard situation. I mean, you guys have barely known them for that long, and he hasn't told some of his closest friends.
Yeah.
And then he came out on national television and said he had HIV. Was that an unbelievably stressful and you guys didn't know what to say kind of time, or were you just feeling so overwhelmed and bad?
At that point, we already got to know Evil on such like an amazing level. Like, he's just an awesome guy, and I was like, you know what? The fact that you came out, because Dr. Jen said you're as dark as, or you're as sick as your darkest secret.
You're only as sick as your
darkest secret.
I'm with you. I remember that.
I've been carrying my anxiety,
Yeah.
my mental stuff going on with me, and my being on antidepressant. And I knew when I opened up about it, I felt like a weight lifted. And the fact that he came out and he said he was HIV positive, I was like, you know what? This guy must feel so like relieved, and so much weight is probably off his shoulders. He's been holding on to this for like 3 years,
Right.
And all of us were just like, you know what, we're there for you. And we said, when it airs, if people come at you the wrong way, we're going to be there for you 100%. And luckily, he has gotten such
So
a
much love.
beautiful overwhelming of like great things.
Yeah.
It really puts things in perspective when, You know, you sit in a room with practically they're strangers that you're just starting to become friends with, and you know you're starting to learn little things about their life, and you know something that you're like, wow, that's a big deal, and then all of a sudden an actual big deal is in front of you. It put everything in perspective, and it just like it really just opens your eyes to what's important and what you should be worried or care about. And
Absolutely.
Like, it's like you should always be kind because you never know what the person next to you is battling.
Yeah.
And it's really true.
What do you guys think about how Steph handled the situation? I mean, I have my own feel. It's hard. It's really hard.
She didn't want him to tell.
She didn't want him to tell anybody. She was kind of keeping him in this box, you know, that he seemed to want to break out of so bad.
I think, like, we're none of us have ever been in that situation, so it's like, who are we to judge or talk, like, you know, like, I mean, that's a difficult situation for both of them.
she was worried. She was worried about him.
Yeah.
You know, she was worried how people were going to react and how, you know, what they were going to say to him and how he was going to handle it. So it just shows how much she cared about him. Mm-hmm. You know, she didn't want him not to say it because of how it would look on her. She was generally concerned with how the public would react to him.
Okay.
Does that seem to be the sole reason they're not together anymore?
No, I think they were going their separate ways regardless. He's so different than her, and she was trying to change him for a little bit, and he wasn't having it. So I think they're probably better off as friends, but I truly love them both. They're freaking awesome.
You
awesome
wouldn't like to see them together?
I mean, I would love to see them together, but do I think it's going to happen? Probably not.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk some Jersey Shore drama.
Okay.
Everything that's going on with the situation right now. What are your thoughts on it?
To be honest, I haven't talked to Mike since we left the house.
Oh, okay.
So,
Holy shit.
you know, there's nothing really I could say. The last time I talked to him, I said goodbye to him.
Well, who do you speak to still?
I talked to the girls.
Yeah.
I talked to Sam, Nicole, and Jenny, and I talked to Paulie here and there. The rest, I don't talk to. I wish them the best, but you know,
just don't talk to them.
I mean, it was a TV show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we all went our own ways.
Right.
Are you shocked by any of the stuff that's coming out about him? Because on the show we saw lots of violent outbursts from him.
You know, am I shocked? I guess. I mean, he might go to jail.
Yeah.
Of course. I lived with this kid for 4 or 5 years. Like I said, I wish him the best, but I haven't spoke to him at all. And I don't know what he's been doing outside or anything. All I hear is that people see him out and stuff because we live in the same area, which is another crazy reason. I can't believe I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
You know? But can you believe that? I haven't spoken to the
That's
kids
crazy.
since we said bye at that house.
I think it's so unbelievable because you guys, it did seem like this was one of the reality shows where people actually had a bond on the show, you know? So I kind of just assumed you all were still friends.
I mean, you would have thought.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be the only one to ever say it out loud.
Yeah.
But, no, yeah, I haven't spoke to Mike since we left the house. I haven't really spoke to Vinny since I, randomly saw him out.
Is there
Ronnie-
reasons? Did anything happen that made you not want to speak to them or just...
No, it's just the way it worked out.
I feel like it's probably like college or high school. Like you party with all those people, and
Right,
then
if we
you
were
move
all
on
in
to
the
different
same room,
points.
it'd probably be just, you know, normal. But the ones I'm closest with are the girls. I talk to them, like, a couple times a week. And Paulie.
Speaking of the girls, they both have had babies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys plan on this
see
anytime
where
in
this
the
is going.
future? I know.
You're catching
Honestly-
our...
Wait, let's
do.
ask
I saw
Chris
that one coming
first.
back by the
I
mic.
know. You first,
Chris.
Chris.
We are looking for a place right now
Okay.
to move in with each other.
And then fill it.
And then hopefully a ring.
And then depending on how that goes, then we'll get married.
Are
Okay.
you feeling that pressure? I mean, you're saying, and hopefully a ring. Is
Well-
that something you're feeling the pressure is on, Chris?
I mean, I
She
think
thinks
so.
she's 27, but she acts like she's 37.
and you're 25?
And I'm 25.
Okay.
So she's like, it's now or never, but,
Not now or never.
you know.
But
You guys have been together 2.5 years, though.
like 3 now.
Oh wow.
Okay. So it's
Now,
getting
question,
to be
yeah,
I'm
it's
with
time.
you, girl.
That's what I'm saying. And plus, I'm getting baby fever seeing all these people having kids. Not only Jenny and Nicole, but like even my girls from home and stuff.
Yeah.
They're popping out babies. I'm like, oh, I want one soon. There's.
Are you nervous when you do have kids? And I'm curious to know your thoughts on this
Yeah.
too. Like the first time we saw you on national television, you took off your pants.
Yeah.
You know, when you first dated Deena, did you watch the show?
Yeah.
So
I
you
did.
knew
I
her
knew-
as
I
that
knew her.
character?
You watched it before you met her, or
I
you met
watched
her
it
and then you
before.
started? Okay.
Oh,
I watched it
that's
before.
But we also had the same friends.
But I
Okay.
always knew that our group of friends, she was in our group of friends. We just never saw each other out.
Okay.
First time we saw each other. Why don't you tell that story?
When we
Aw.
when we first saw each other out, he didn't even say hi to me, and I was like,
I didn't
oh,
want to. I
what
didn't
did
want to
your
be.
an
I
ass.
I didn't want to be a super fan, or I didn't want to be like a
Can I get your autograph?
But that
creeper.
probably happens all the time. So he's trying to make
Yeah.
himself stand out. Okay.
So then
That's cute.
I went on one of his friends, which is my friend's Facebooks, and then I added him like a creep, and then I put where I was
Because you thought he was cute?
Yeah, and then I put where I was
Creeper.
going out because I knew his friends were going to the same place because we all hang out, and I was like, oh, maybe he'll go out with his friends tonight because for some reason he never went out with them, and then he did, and I was like, haha, it worked.
You
And
go, girl.
Did you go out because she posted it? So is that the silent smile nod? That's a yes?
This was a yes.
Aw.
And then it was love forever.
That's adorable. So we have to wrap this up. But I want to know, Deena, you said that you've grown up a lot since Jersey Shore. In what ways do you feel like you've grown the most?
I think I've just matured as a person, as I think in our relationship. I think he was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. I just feel.
so
I know.
cute.
I
Take
just
a
got
minute and
chills. Yeah,
smile. Like the fact that somebody just said that to you, that's gotta warm your heart. It's so
It does.
cute.
It does.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think this is long.
I definitely took it down a notch. I don't drink every night. If I do, I'll have like a glass of wine before bed. If not even every night, but
You're being overly cautious almost because you don't want to be.
no, I can't drink like that anymore.
Oh, that happens.
I just am like old. Like I'll like go out one night and I'm like in bed for like the next 2 days. I don't know what the heck happened to me, but yeah, I can't do what I used to do.
Maybe you are older than I think.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in today. This was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Plug your websites and your Twitters and all that stuff.
Follow me on Twitter, Deena Nicole MTV. Same on Instagram.
My Twitter is @cbuckner_.
Awesome. And projects you guys are working on, we know that we can catch you on couples therapy, but anything else that you got going on that you want to talk about?
I'm working on some music, but we hit a little bump in the road. So until that's settled, I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay. But that was a good little tease.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take it. Okay, and you guys can find me at Roxy Striar.
And I'm at Jason Ikeler, and you can find AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.